as we normally do.
This has been a interesting day for the DeWine family. I left right here in Cedarville, left home at about 6 o'clock this morning and drove to Cleveland. And the idea was I was going to get tested, which I did. Everyone who sees the president is tested. So I was tested. I went from there to the airport. And when I got to the airport, found out shortly thereafter that I had tested positive. So that was a big surprise. Obviously could not see the president, could not greet the president. It had been my intention to be there to greet him when he flew into Cleveland. Called Fran and headed back and stopped in Columbus, and Fran and I and some of the people who work very, very closely with me were tested. It was not a rapid test, so we do not have the test back yet. But I feel fine. Have a headache, but I get a lot of headaches throughout my life, so a headache is not anything that unusual. So besides that, I feel well. So a big surprise to me, and certainly a big surprise to our family. When I found out, I called Fran, then I called each of our 7 children because I figured the news would be out pretty quickly, so I wanted them to hear that directly from me, and I was able to reach all of them. And so here we are. Fran, I just got back here in Cedarville, I guess about a half an hour ago. So more than happy to take any questions.
Just a reminder for reporters, you will remain on mute until your question is called. If you wish to ask a question, please mention so in the Zoom chat. Governor, our first question will be from Kevin Landers at WBNS 10 TV in Columbus.
Hello, Governor. Can you hear me?
Hey, Kevin, I can hear you well, Kevin. Thank you.
Very, very good. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure.
Governor, do you have any idea where you may have contacted this virus? And considering your age, what have doctors told you about your recovery from it? Thank you.
Well, they haven't told me anything, but I've read enough about it, just have some idea what we're dealing with. So we've not had any discussion with any doctor about that. So where did I get it? I have no idea. You're watching me on the front porch at our home that we've lived in since 1974. I basically, since the virus came on, since we started dealing with the coronavirus in March, Fran and I have lived out of here. We were living out of here every week during the weekend, but we left the governor's residence. We came here. We have a farm that goes down that way. We're very, very careful with who we see. We have 2 daughters that live down the road. We have 4 grandchildren, but even with them, we wear a mask. We walk down there. We keep our distance. Both our daughters are pregnant, expecting babies, and we're very excited about that. But we keep our distance there. As far as our office, there's really 4 people down that way. I see these 4 people only on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Or Eric, who's behind the camera, who you hear me always talking about, who's also behind the camera today. He was also tested today. I'll see him if we do a remote TV shot. We did Cuomo last night. CNN. We did it from right in here in the house, and he was there. So with those four people, home that we've lived in, that's really about it. Well, we've got a little pause here, I guess. Whoever has the next question.
The next question is from Jason Lalji at USA Today. Jason, please unmute and ask your question.
Hi, Governor. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us.
Jason.
Have you been getting tested regularly before now as a matter of your government's protocol? What does testing look like for you other than when you publicly demonstrated a test in June and in preparation for the president's visit today?
That's the only other test I've had. So as of right now, I've had 3 tests, 2 today, and that one that we did publicly. That was it. I mean, I had no symptoms. I had no indication that, no reason to think I had the COVID-19. So I've not done any other testing.
Our next question is from Farnoosh Amiri at the Associated Press.
Hi, Governor. Thanks for taking the time today. What message do you hope that this sends to Ohioans? I mean, you're someone who has very publicly worn a mask and advocated for masks and and like you said, you've not left your residence. You've avoided a lot of public gatherings, even when the vice president was in town last month. So what does this kind of say to Ohioans or to the American public that someone who took all the precautions still got it?
Well, it's nothing really new. I mean, it's what we've said and what the experts have said, and that is that it's very contagious. It is here. It lives among us. We know you're always simply dealing with trying to improve your odds. And when you wear a mask, you're improving your odds dramatically. But that does not mean you won't get it. You restrict the number of people you see. That improves your odds dramatically. But it simply does not mean that, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees in life. So, I don't think people should read a whole lot into this. It is other than what we already know, which is this is very dangerous, and it's very contagious.
Governor, your next question is from Ori Givens at Spectrum News.
There we go. Good afternoon, Governor. First of all, I want to wish you well. I hope you recover quickly. I want to ask about the test. What type of test was it that you took that gave you the results so quickly? And I'm curious how available those tests are.
This was a test that was arranged by the White House. And frankly, that's all I know. I really did not ask. I didn't think much about it. The protocol, of course, is I had at one point I had an appointment to see the president in Washington. They explained that I would get a test right then. They would get the results back, and then I would be able to go see the president. That did not take place. The meeting did not take place. I think we had some conflict. So I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a rapid test. I mean, they got the results back right away. But beyond that, I can't tell you. I'm sure the White House can tell you exactly what the test was. I don't know.
Our next question is from Laura Queso of WKYC in Cleveland.
Hi, Governor. I'm glad to see you are doing well. I do have a question. Social media kind of going crazy right now. A lot of people saying this is an example of why I don't need to wear a mask. I thought masks worked. What would you say to those people who are now doubting that whether or not they should wear a mask, since clearly you have been wearing one?
Well, I've already got a few texts, not so nice texts from people about that. It's sort of, we told you this was all fake, and we told you that wearing masks didn't matter. But look, we know it does. If people, take that lesson from the fact that I apparently have it, that would be the wrong lesson. It would be very, very sad, and that will upset me quite a bit because that's not the lesson that should come from this. The lesson should come from this is that we're all human. This virus is everywhere. This virus is very tough. And yes, you can contract it even when you're being very, very careful and even when you're wearing a mask. But your odds are just dramatically better. And my odds obviously, weren't good that day that I contracted it. And there's some things that are out of our control, but I've had some people in the past of made mention of God and that we should trust in God. And I kind of go back to what my wife Fran always has said, as long as I've known her, and that is, God helps those who help themselves. And so, you try and you do those things, and usually, we know it improves your odds. It improves your chances of not getting it, or decreases the chances that you get it. But there's nothing certain in life, and it's not. There's just no guarantees in life.
Our next question is from Matt Wright of WJW in Cleveland.
Hi, Governor. Can you please tell us exactly where and when you were tested here in the Cleveland area today? And then also on the second test you had, have you received those results? And if so, what's the result?
No, this was not, the second test was not a rapid test. So we've not received those results yet. Would not expect to for a while. They said we might get those later tonight. But I don't know. We didn't expect to have them back this soon at all. As far as the location of the test, I was not driving. The highway patrol was driving, and quite candidly, I didn't even look to see where we were. I was answering emails and on the phone and paid no attention. I got out, I got the test, I got back in the car and started working again. So I'm sure that, we can supply that information for you. It was a place where testing was occurring, and, it was public testing that day.
Our next question is from Andrew Tobias at cleveland.com.
Hi, Governor. My question are why Lieutenant Governor John Husted continued with the event today, if you're concerned that he was exposed. And then also generally, I was hoping that you could address how you envision this may affect the functionings of state government.
Well, John was tested too, and John, it was a negative test for him. So there would be no reason for him not to move forward, I guess. Look, I mean, I'm going to continue, I'm going to be quarantined for at least 14 days. We'll see how this goes. But anybody knows me knows that I'm going to continue to do what I do. So, I'm spend most days right here anyway. And, I'm on the phone a lot. I'm on conference calls a lot. And so far my work is not going to be impacted. We'll obviously we'll see. I don't take anything for granted, and this virus is a nasty thing. We know that it impacts some people one way and some people another way, and some people much worse. We fully realize that. So we'll see. But John Husted, the Lieutenant Governor, has been intimately involved in everything that we do. He and I are on the phone every day. I don't know how many times, but some days 6, 7, 8 times. So that process, everything's just going to continue until, unless for some reason it cannot.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Marty Schladen at the Ohio Capitol Journal.
Good afternoon, Governor.
Afternoon.
Hope your case is one of the asymptomatic ones.
Thank you.
So a lot of the nasty social media traffic seems to be predicated on the assumption that one wears a mask to keep from getting the virus. It's my understanding that cloth masks are more intended to keep from giving
right.
others the virus. Would you talk about what you understand from your health experts about that?
Well, the experts have told me that you wear a mask primarily to protect others. There is some evidence, and look, they're continuing to learn about the spread, but there's some evidence that it has some benefit to you as well. You know, basically everybody I've been around has had a mask on, and I've had a mask on, and that's kind of been our protocol. So, you know, going back to 5 questions ago, I don't know where I got it. You know, we've kind of replayed through, you know, where that could have occurred, and we just don't, frankly, we just can't figure it out. Now, you know, everybody around me was, who, as I said, the kind of the people that are in my bubble were tested today. It's not a very big group. It's the highway patrol, those people who are assigned directly to me, and who would be in the same car with me. You know, there is because of the virus we installed, there's a shield now between the front and back. It's not what we had before, but what we have now. So, you know, with the highway patrol, also, you know, with, as I said, the people sort of in the bubble, the 4 or 5 people that are in the bubble that I interact with in the office. Obviously, I'm with Fran. Fran's brother is here. Some I don't interact with her brother John, but so, you know, trying to rack our brain, try to figure it out. We haven't really figured it out. You know, I think when we get the test back and we get results for other people, that may give us some indication.
Governor, your next question is from John London at WLWT in Cincinnati.
Hey, John.
John, can you unmute your line, please?
He had to leave for a live shot.
Okay.
Curtis, you may ask his question then.
Sure. He was going to ask what more the state can do so the average Ohioan can get a result like he did today. And how confident is he about reliability of rapid tests given percentage of false negative results?
Well, I think, you know, I don't have any more information than anybody else does about the reliability. I mean, that's been published, that's been debated, that's been talked about. We know there are generally false negatives usually, was what I'm told. But I don't pretend to be the expert. Look, we've done everything that we can, and we're not stopping to make sure there's more testing available. You know, 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, we were at about 8,000 tests a day. We're now averaging about 22,000 tests a day. But we have things in the works with contracts. We announced the other day a joint effort with Maryland, Michigan, and other states to purchase more. So we're going to continue to do everything we can to ramp up testing in the state of Ohio. You know, one of the things that we're going to do, and in fact, I was on the phone. I was going to talk to the president about today, is pooling. The White House has been urging pooling for some time in conversations, and so we're working to be able to, you know, do that pooling so that you can speed the testing up, not the results that you get back, but you can do more tests. And so you put, you know, 4 or 5 tests or maybe 10 tests in, and you run them. If they're all negative, if it comes back negative, it's negative. Everybody clears out. So, you know, we're working on that and to do more of that. So, you know, the other 2 tests I've taken have just been the standard tests. The one that the White House provided today was the only rapid test that I've taken.
Governor, your next question is from Jack Windsor at WMFD in Mansfield.
Hey, Jack, how you doing?
Hi, Governor. I'm well. My daughter and I are praying for your good health, sir. Stay
Thank you very
strong.
much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
This will dovetail the last question a bit. Since this was a rapid test, if this does come back as a false positive, does this give you pause to continue with the ramping of the rapid testing program you spoke about on Tuesday, particularly as it relates to, if there's a false positive in a school or on a sports team, it could really shut things down? Or do you just feel like we have to go forward because of the raw number of tests that you feel like we need to do?
Well, Jack, we're going forward with all kinds of different tests, and so we're going forward pushing the rapid test, but we're also doing the other more conventional tests. Look, I think it is a constant reevaluation of everything. We constantly evaluate where we are with the virus, what we know about the virus. We know more, and I don't mean me, I'm not a scientist, but I mean collectively we know more about the virus today than we did in March. Same way with testing, and the testing is evolving. So I'm not going to prejudge. We'll see what happens. I'm sort of hoping that it was a false test, but I certainly don't assume that, and I assume that it was a correct test. But we'll see, and when I get my results back and Fran gets her results back, we'll certainly share those with everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Governor, your next question is from Jackie Borchert, the Cincinnati Enquirer.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, glad to hear that you're doing well.
Thank you.
I also have a follow-up on the rapid test, as your case is unique compared to most Ohioans in that you were able to get a result in the same day and quarantine without coming into contact with additional people. The White House has been using these kinds of tests since April. Should the federal government have done more, or could you have done more at the state level to make that testing more widely available here?
I don't speak for the White House. I'll speak for me. Look, we'll look back on this. I'm sure, and there'll be things that we look back and say, gee, I wish we'd done that. I wish we'd done this. All I can tell you is that we have pushed as hard as I know how to get more testing. And it has been a problem. But, again, we're at 22,000 tests on an average today. It's a lot better than we were. We got to double it, and then we got to double it again. So that's been my message as I've talked to, Senator Portman, Senator Brown, whether I talk to the White House, Vice President, any help you can give us in the funding of testing, because, the private sector is moving. Things are happening, and there's going to be more and more tests available. And if we have the money to pay for it, and we've set aside a lot of money, a lot of the CARES Act dollars we've set aside for testing, not just for this month, but in the coming months. But that's what we have to do. We have to do more and more testing. And you're right. The faster you can get the test back, the quicker you can make a decision, or to that the person needs to isolate, and then you can move forward. So yeah, we need them quicker, and we need more of them. But we've put a full court press on for a long time on this, and some of this is taking longer. But as I said, driving to Cleveland this morning, I spent, a couple hours on the phone talking about testing, and what else we can do, where we can go, and what the progress is. There's a lot of balls in the air, a lot of things that, some things at least we have not talked to you about, because we want to wait until we've got them, until we know that they, are ready to deploy and ready to move forward, and that they're actually, we can do that. So, a lot's coming, and we're going to keep pushing.
Governor, next question is from Danielle Malgeri at Fox 45 in Dayton.
Governor DeWine, we've seen over 74,000 Ohioans recover from the virus. Are you remaining positive, and do you feel like your case will help you better keep Ohioans safe?
I lost the audio, sorry.
Hi, Governor DeWine, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. If you could start again.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. We know that over 74,000 Ohioans have recovered from the virus. Are you hopeful, and do you feel this will give you a better understanding of how to keep Ohioans safe?
Well, my experience in life is that you learn from every experience. And so, I'm sure this will be an experience. Not one I was looking forward to, not one I wanted, but you always learn, and I certainly will look at it from not just from the eyes of a patient, but look at it from the eyes of the governor, and a better understanding of what other people go through.
Governor, your next question is from Molly Coweek at WHIO in Dayton.
Hi, Governor. How do you plan to effectively lead while you're in quarantine?
Well, I'm been leading Ohio from the place you're looking at, this house, since March. I go to Columbus any day for the press conference. So for weeks, that was every day. Now we're usually doing 2 a week. So I go to Columbus for the press conferences. I go to public safety, go there for that. But most of the work I've done is right here. I mean, I walk on our farm many times. People don't know I'm walking on the farm, but I'm out walking on the farm and, talking on the phone. I talked yesterday to a number of school superintendents. Did it right here, did a couple-hour walk on our farm. So, this is the modern world, and we can certainly do that. It's not what we want. We'd like to pull everybody together in a room physically, but that's just not possible today. So, we do this, and so as long as I'm feeling okay, we'll be okay in doing this. I've got a great team around me. I've got a great lieutenant governor. I've got a team that is, for many of them, been with me, some for decades. So it's a team I have a great deal of trust in, a team that I know the people of the state of Ohio can have trust in.
Thank you.
Governor, we have time for one last question. Next up is Laura Bischoff at the Dayton Daily News.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Governor, thanks for doing this, and thanks for doing these socially distanced pressers over the past several weeks.
Yeah, I guess you're happy about that now, right?
Exactly. Can you tell us if you have any underlying conditions other than being over age 50 that could put you at risk for complications?
Yeah, I've had asthma probably since I was a teenager.
Does that
it's under control, but I take an inhaler regularly in the morning and night. But it's under control, but it is there, sure. Really no other outstanding, nothing really. I feel good. I think anybody that's watched me, whether they agree with me or not, will at least say I have plenty of energy. So, I mean, I literally start the day about 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm working, and, we kick off about 8 o'clock at night, usually, or 7 or 8. So that's it. Well, Eric is giving me the sign. I guess that is it. Thank you all for joining us. This is kind of unusual. As I said, we're on our front porch here, and I know some people, at least across Ohio, have been here before because we do our annual ice cream social here. So sometimes in the summer we didn't have it this year, but in the summer sometimes we have up to 2,000 people here. So many of you have had a chance at least to visit our home before. So look, we'll be back. My intention is to be part of the press conference somehow tomorrow, and look forward to talking to you all then. Thank you very much.